the strangest request that you've made money from attaining all this technical expertise? What's the strangest request you've gotten to get paid for?
I don't know. Like I said, I'm a pure network guy, so a lot of my stuff is pretty straightforward.
Okay, because I talked about this one time where I got paid just to do a presentation for a government job. They ended up not getting the contract, but just to do a presentation for the government, they paid me to do the presentation with them.
Okay, I did a contract for DOE back in my government days. We were literally paid just to show up.
What?
Or the Homeland Security job I told you about. So I was a domain admin, and there was a beef between the manager of the domain admins and the enterprise admins. So he wouldn't give us rights. So we showed up every night, paid to go to work, and this was for like 4 months. But we couldn't do any work because we didn't have rights. So we just showed up to sit there and watch TV for 4 months straight.
What? For 4 months straight?
Because they would not give us rights.
Welcome to the tech business, ladies and gentlemen.
Like I said, that DOE contract, that was a whole month-long contract where we literally would show up and they said, nope, you're not allowed to work tonight. You're paid for 8 hours. Have a nice night.
Oh, and you had to go, and they let you go home?
Yeah, this is my second job. This is the contract I worked after hours. You want to talk about you want to know why I don't respect CompTIA certs and why I know that the government keeps them in business and they're a waste? I did a contract. We redid the network at the Quantico Marine Base. Full network refresh. This was one of my last jobs as a defense contractor. Do you know, if you had to throw out a guess, how much equipment they had left over after the project was done? Just extra equipment?
Listen, I was literally about to go there with my next story, but go ahead.
They had 6 full racks worth of gear. I'm talking 6509. This was back when G-Bics were $1,000 a piece. I had 20 G-Bics in my trunk. I used to ride around DC with a 6509 in my backseat just because I could, take it home, bring it back, do what you want. There was a contract I did for Department of Homeland, another department DHS contract. It was an inventory asset management project where we literally inventoried. This is the beginning days. We inventoried every single thing with a power button that Department of Homeland Security had.
No way.
We walked into this room that had to be 100 feet by 20, stacked floor to ceiling with brand new Dell computers no one in the government even knew existed.
What? Unaccountable?
Like, if I'd have walked out of there with 20 brand new Dell laptops, no one would have ever known because nobody knew they existed.
And that's the type of money, this tech thing. I'm telling you all, it's still so brand new to most companies. And most companies, executives don't want to get bothered with a lot of the weeds of the tech stacks and the tech stuff. And the managers, the tech managers themselves or directors themselves, so overloaded with work, money just gets blown. All right. Money just gets blown. And a lot of times they have to spend that money. And so a lot of that trickles down onto us opportunists who capitalize on that. I'll tell you this one time. This was years ago before. This is when this is my best bro. Who got me interested even in cloud tech, made me aware of it. One time we had a data center that was going to be decommed, and they were decomming the data center and gave him permission to
take anything he wants.
Yes. And so what my bro did, he got me. I had he didn't drive, I drove. Everybody know my infamous Uber stories, take them to strip club and stuff. But I had a Nissan Altima. I pulled it up to the building, and we just took all the fiber cables, and the gold coil cables out, and we loaded as much in my trunk and my backseat. I didn't know where we were going. He just said, "Look, we could turn this in for some money, whatever." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I never heard this in my life, bro. We made one in just one trip alone, and turning all those cables in the small Nissan Altima. One trip alone, we made $4,500 in just one trip, and there were multiple trips. So it's like, but again, when you open yourself up to get access to this world, there's a plethora of opportunity here that you can capitalize on. And if you're a hustler, if you're a person that's a grinder, that's a go-getter, that's always known how to make things shake. And here's the thing you could speak to too, Damon, that I spoke about. And I'm gonna let you go. I know it's getting late. Dang, wait a minute.